Okay, here it comes. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
I know how crazy this is going to sound, but I want to be abducted by aliens.
It's gonna be all right, Teddy. I understand now. This is the morning stream.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is the morning stream for Tuesday, December 29th, 2020. I'm Scott. He's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Yes. Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm okay. It's the day before New Year's Day.
Technically on a holiday week like this, because Thursday is a kind of holiday and Friday is an absolute holiday, this is kind of our hump day for the week.
Yeah.
This is the hump.
Yeah, we're on the
Tuesday,
hump.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the hump, everybody. Take the hump.
Enjoy the hump.
Yeah, enjoy the hump.
It's like a Saturday night at Ibbott's house.
we had a conversation last night about what kinds of movies people watch traditionally on New Year's. Kind of like how you have Christmas movies, some Thanksgiving movies, that sort of thing. I couldn't come up with anything. I don't know what a good New Year's movie is. So do you have one that jumps into your head?
Yeah, I mean, there's movies that contain a New Year's event, right?
Yeah.
Like When Harry Met Sally, Four Rooms. We talked about this a little bit, or I brought those up when we were talking about instead of watching the ball drop, pick a movie that has a New Year's Eve countdown or any sort of countdown and make the countdown time it so that and it's easy to do.
Sure.
People are like, oh, it's so difficult to do. You go to Netflix, you scrub to the point of the countdown, look at how much time that is, and then subtract that from midnight and you've got it.
Yeah,
that easy.
Start that much time ahead, you're done. It's easy.
Exactly. That's all you have to do. And if it's a minute off, if it's 30 seconds off, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. Even if your internet goes weird and you lose a second or two, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
There has to be some sort of like hacker apocalypse kind of movie where something happens, like the terrorists blow something up at midnight on New Year's Eve, or the hackers hack into something at midnight on New Year's Eve when everybody's is Strange Days.
Strange Days
what I'm
is
remembering?
No, Strange Days is 99 rolls over to 2000 in Strange Days. Yeah.
Does it? Okay. And there's like the actual countdown. Something happens that they
Well, I think
wait to hit the enter key. V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta is a good one. Yeah,
on New Year's Eve, or is that remember the 5th of November?
remember the 1st of January.
September.
I don't remember how that works, but I know that. So in Strange Days, if memory serves, I loved that movie at the time, but it came out in like 97 or something, and it was only set like 2 years away, and the 2 years away was like this fantastic future of like weird brain drugs that were digital and like it was very cyberpunky future-y thing, but they only made the movie 2 years previous to the date that they were setting it.
Right.
And it just didn't work in that way, but there was
you
some
need
kind of rollover.
further in the future kind of stuff to make it.
And there was some rollover. I don't think the rollover was a big deal in the movie, though. It was just like maybe there was a terrorist attack or something like that.
Yeah.
Also, let me ask you a question. We don't have all the details yet, okay? We don't know all the details about what's going on with this guy, but there's that dude in Nashville, and he's got a camper trailer RV thing, and he's in it, and I don't know if they found like full manifesto of this dude yet, or any of that, because I haven't looked today, but all I know is he blows this thing up, and right before it explodes, and it only kills him, by the way, and it was meant to be a sort of a suicide moment for him. Lucky though, because that thing blasted half that neighborhood away. I don't know how people survived.
God, I know. Yeah.
So awful and terrible and all that. But my question is, do you have any idea why he was playing? Like, do you have any inside information as a music lover yourself and kind of a scholar, I think, of the medium? Do you know why he's playing Downtown by what's her name before that thing and blaring it outside?
Clark?
Yeah, because he had a Petula Clark song. Downtown was playing out. He was blaring it outside of the RV for all to hear when that thing exploded. I can't figure out.
That's really weird. I mean, the lyrics are, you've got troubles, you get away from it by going downtown.
Yeah, I guess
But,
so. You're like a downtown. That's where the people go when they gotta go to get away from the thing or whatever. However it goes.
Life is you can always go downtown.
Oh, right. He was going after. Okay, there were further details. At least the theory right now is that he was going after the AT&T building that was across the street, and it was this big suicide bomb to eliminate AT&T because they have a 5G network, and the 5G network is tracking.
Is causing. Oh, gotcha. I thought it was turning the frogs gay or something. Okay,
he's one of those 5G people. So.
Yep.
5G
gives you the COVID. Look, everywhere there's 5G networks, there's COVID. No 5G in Antarctica. Oh, coincidence?
Correlation, causation. I get it. That's what happened. But I mean, there's probably no sense. There's no way to make sense of a senseless act like that because obviously the dude was wackadoo.
Yeah, that was such a hard right turn from New Year's Eve movies. I was like, I finally had a list in front of me of some good New Year's Eve movies, and we took that hard right turn.
Yeah, we're in a very different part of the neighborhood now. We're not talking about those movies at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, if anyone has any good the New Year's movies to recommend, let us know because
Poseidon. It's funny this list that who sent it? J.K. Grammer from thatmomentin.com has a list of great New Year's Eve movies to start your countdown. At least I didn't say the other thing.
Yeah, got close.
Here's the best part of it is that their very first movie is Poseidon, which they misspell when a simple search would have turned up the correct way to spell Poseidon.
So wait a minute. Poseidon, is that the one where the building catches on fire? Or is it?
No, that's the Towering Inferno. The Poseidon Adventure is where the ship flips upside down.
That's right.
Capsizes.
Okay. No, you're right.
It's almost a cheetah moment there, Scott.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Poseidon, like water, right? Like the water god.
Yes, it's the right, exactly.
Should have thought of that. They don't name buildings after
the Poseidon Tower. No,
the watery
Our
inferno.
tower is sinking into the ocean.
Neither of those films have been film sacked. We need to
Our
rectify that.
skyscrapers capsized.
Of those
we
two,
haven't done.
we haven't done either one of those. We should do them.
Didn't we do the original Poseidon Adventure? No.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Let me check. I'm going to check now. 'Cause now you're making me question myself.
Poseidon Adventure that year did win an Oscar for Best Song. Do you remember what the song was from the Poseidon Adventure?
I'm drowning, reach out your hand. I have no idea. What was it?
There's got to be a morning after.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, well, confirmation, no Poseidon Adventure. What was the other one?
Okay.
Towering Inferno.
Towering Inferno. Towering Inferno we've got to see. That's I mean,
neither
both of those
neither of those have been done. Both of those should be done. We should do both of those.
For sure.
No Ellen.
I guess it also won for Best Visual Effects.
In
the Oscars.
Was the got to be a morning after? Was that played in the credits, or was that?
It was played during the. I think it was playing in the ballroom right before the ship capsized.
Yeah.
And then I think they replayed it during the credits. I think.
Maybe back then, when all we had was the prevention pill for pregnancy, the song was saying, "One day there'll be a morning after pill." But they can't do it. It doesn't. It stanza very well. So you have to.
Yeah. No. There's and it's really hard to find words that rhyme with pill. So hard, difficult. Like you.
I know. What do you have? Bill. Kill.
God, there's so many 70s disaster films we need to watch. Airport, like the original Airport that Airplane was a send up of. Earthquake.
Yeah.
Towering Inferno.
Yeah, I agree.
Why have we been avoiding 70s disaster films?
I don't know. Because every time we try to sneak in a Christmas Prince, we should stop all the presses and say, wait a minute, we haven't done half a dozen freaking 70s disaster films. Stop giving us Christmas Prince.
Roller Coaster, Meteor.
Yeah, Meteor's good.
Concorde. Oh, I guess that was the Airport 79.
We did Killer Bees or whatever that was called.
Yeah.
That was cool.
This is great. I love talking film sack on TMS.
Oh yeah,
you know what?
It's great.
It's promotion.
Yeah, we're going to talk about TMS on film sack, so don't worry about it, everybody. It'll be fine.
just to provide balance on the force.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I got a dream.
I think maybe it's maybe time for me to kind of take over managing.
Yeah, can you get that list and not saying
wrestle control, or else we're going to watch Christmas Prince Part 2.
Yeah, we're not. No. I refuse. I refuse. I will literally lay down my life before I watch Christmas Prince 2. I
promise I won't. I promise I won't make us watch Crossroads with Britney Spears.
Okay,
I promise.
thank you. I know you want to, but thank you.
I really want to. I know it's going to be horrible. I feel like it's going to be, but people said it's so horrible that.
Yeah, there's a certain horrible threshold that it crosses, I think, that we get in trouble. Brian, I got a dream you need to help me determine what the heck it means because you were in it.
All right.
Okay?
Okay. All right. Lay it on me.
Brian
Lay
was
it on
in
me,
my
brother.
most recent dream. I have weird dreams. This is one that featured one Brian Ibbett. So here's your role in said dream. In this dream, you and I had this job. And for some reason, you were like in charge of it because if I screwed up, you would like yell at me in this dream. Which is which is weird because I've never heard Brian yell at anyone before.
No.
Anyone. Like, I can't think of a time I've ever heard you yell at anyone. The closest I think you've ever gotten is just telling a story about something that irritated you. Like,
I've yelled about people.
Yeah.
But it does take a lot for me to get so ticked off.
Yeah, that's rare.
That I wanna yell at somebody.
Right. You're a soft, happy man, is what you are.
Well, hopefully not soft when I'm happy.
Oh man. Just remember that next time you see Brian and he looks happy. All right? Just remember that. So anyway, in this dream, we had to cut apples in half. Okay. And they were all the apples, there were tons of them, so it felt like all the apples ever. And
is this another conveyor belt
no, that's interesting you say that.
Situation?
That's interesting you say that because in the dream, it was almost like I, in the dream, was looking for that kind of production again because in my dream, it was almost like subconsciously like double subconscious. I was watching for a follow-up to the previous dream, which very much was like that I Love Lucy chocolate thing. But this was not that. It was just a table with a giant pile of apples over here that just seemed unending. And then over here were the apples that we had cut or sliced.
Okay.
And then stacked neatly. And then you and I had knives. We would take an apple and we would slice it right down the middle. And if it was off by even a millimeter, you would go off. You would just be pissed. Just pissed. You were like, what the
I love it. Okay, yes.
We can't use that one. Throw that one out. We can't use that apple. And I would have to throw it out. And then we had to count every seed that we saw during the process. So when you cut it, you'd have to look at both sides of the slice and say, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this has 4 total seeds. Write that down. Be like a ledger kind of thing.
Wow. And the sad thing is, when you cut an apple in half, you're only seeing the seeds that are at the surface of the half.
Right.
You don't see the deep ones.
Right. Right. That's exactly right.
Seeds go all the way around the core, people.
That's what I was thinking during the dream, but it seemed to be enough for you as taskmaster of apple cutting. You seemed to be okay with just a visual count of the halves. And so we did that, and we were as careful as we could be because it would incur your wrath.
I probably wrote an Excel formula to calculate the number of seeds in the apple based on how many were visible at the half.
That's probably true. I think that's a good theory. So but furthermore, what do you think what is that? Because that's all the dream was, just that nonstop till I woke up. What do you think that means?
Have you been having a hard time keeping your AirPods together? Like your Apple AirPods are getting split and you're losing one. Oh, okay, you've got them together. Okay.
So I'm right here and they're actually together. However, that's funny you say this because yesterday I was remarking multiple times when I went to use them, why is the left ear at 86% charge?
Right.
And the right ear's at like 90-something. Oh. That's not balanced. And why is one lower than the other? And is it just because I've had them for long enough and, batteries don't last forever and all that sort of thing? I didn't know. Jeez.
I get them where it's like the left one is 9%. Oh, and then the right one is 100%. And as I'm listening to something, bloop, 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 I get that noise. And I have to put one of them in the charger while I'm listening with the other one, and it drives me nuts.
It's the saddest sound. I hate it. That sound.
It's, yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, can we make something that sounds like Pac-Man dying, but even sadder?
Yeah. It's better than my over-the-ear ones I got from, not Garmin. I forgot the name of it. But anyway, they're great.
Is it one that would say, battery almost depleted?
Yes.
Battery almost depleted.
Right in the middle of a really important podcast thing I'm listening to. It dims the sound of the podcast, so I'm not actually hearing it very well. And the voice comes in and has to give me 2 full sentences. Just make a little beep or something. Tell me it's going down. Like, what the hell? Anyway, the point is, maybe, because I was thinking about this. So you're not that wrong about uneven. I had an uneven experience with these. Or at least I had a paranoid feeling of like, why is one 20% less than the other one? That doesn't make sense. They both charged overnight. They're both fresh this morning. Like right now, I bet if I checked them, they'd have some difference. And that annoys me. Yeah, so there's no balance in that force, in that particular force. Other than that, I don't know what to point to for this. There's nothing that you're never like this. This isn't you at all. Okay.
No. And somebody asked if I'm the type who gets quiet when they get angry, and I'm like, no, God, I feel like the quiet, the simmering, waiting for the pot to explode is worse than the just when you get let it out right away.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the I talk it out as it's happening to keep from being the blow up or the 0 to 60.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah,
I have to do that too. If I don't, I can't.
Hold the mask over your nose. What's the matter with you? Is your breath that bad that you can't have your nose and your mouth in the same container in the same mask?
Yeah. It's like I'm trying to think of a recent experience.
What I'm demonstrating.
My wife can fully compartmentalize stuff and put it away for now, sort of stuff. She can do that. I can't do that. I have to talk about it right now. Like if we're gonna have an issue, anybody with me, I have to. This is right now. Like what are we waiting for? There's no reason to wait, unless people have knives and we're ready to cut each other's throats or something. But for the most part, I'm just like, no. Now's the time. Let's do it. So if somebody's being very passive aggressive, like some family member or something, like a cousin or an uncle or something like that, I can't just go, okay, and let it go. I have to go, okay, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. What did you, how, what, man? Like I have to do it right then. And that has its problems. That has its foibles. I admit. Yeah. I can get in trouble there. But it's still just, I hate tucking stuff away and not dealing with it. I hate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You've got a sister who's a therapist who'd say, don't do that. Don't bottle it in.
Yeah. And also passive aggressiveness is for donkeys. It's awful. Like I can't do it. Like this guy the other day, I said something on Twitter and his response was, why? As if he doesn't want to do any of the work to understand why I'm saying a thing.
So wait, his response to something you said on Twitter was just simply why?
Just simply why, and I wrote back and I go, I'm not playing that game. Because I know what he's doing. He's being passive aggressive. And here's how I know it, because his reply to that was, well, it was just a simple question, but oh well. Like, you're doing it, dude. You did it again.
Exactly, yes. It was, I'm sorry I offended you with my request, my question.
Where's the mute button? Beep, 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 mute,
exactly.
mute.
Exactly.
So, anyway, that guy can eat a poo.
And that's as angry as we get.
That's as angry as we get, you guys. Eat a poo, and then we move on. Yeah. All right, we got if you guys have thoughts about that dream, let us know, because we have no idea. I bring up Fargo a lot on the show. I know that. I know it's a problem. We're getting emails about it. Some people are watching it.
That's now the first step. You've completed the first step.
Yeah, stage 1, denial, or whatever. Now we move on to anger or whatever. But anyway, multiple people writing in saying, hey, I'm watching it because I'm sick of hearing you say all these great things, and now I got to find out for myself. For the most part, everyone's come back with, oh my gosh, this is great. I can't believe I waited so long. And then they want to talk about little bits and pieces. And I'm loving it. Loving it, you guys. Keep it coming. But here's this email we got from Thomas from Missouri, who says this. Hello, Scott and Brian. So after Scott's persistent recommendation, I've started watching Fargo. At this point, I'm done with seasons 1 and 2, and I have some questions. First, does them saying it's a true story when it is not bother you? No, that's the fun. The show was the movie did this. Yeah, they all do it.
The movie did it exactly, and the movie was quick to kind of and they even say it in a joking way, right? Like at the request of the survivors,
everything else is changed, told exactly as it occurred or whatever, all that stuff. I mean, exactly. It is never meant to be serious. Now I understand if you're coming to it raw and fresh, you may not know the tone yet, so you don't that's not going to land on you the way you may think it will. But like season 3, for example, they fade out the true when they show it, so it goes, this is a true story.
That's
right.
And
then the true fades out and it just says this is a story. I don't know if that was to help people get over the hump or what the deal was, but But yeah, like that does not bother me at all.
Doesn't bother me either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Says it bothers him, but keep watching, you'll be fine. And make sure you watch the movie, you guys. You got to understand where all this comes from. Anyway, he says not a lot, but I guess I don't see the point of claiming something is true when it isn't. Also, season 2 isn't about the events in the past that kind of lead to season 1. Does the fact that we know certain characters are safe and aren't going to die take away from the uncertainty? No, not at all.
No.
What that adds to me is...
Oh, no, is Anakin Skywalker going to die in that pod race? Oh, no, I can't watch.
I mean, the quality of the prequels notwithstanding, Brian makes a good point.
Oh, no, is Indiana Jones going to die in that from drinking the poison? Short round, save him.
Oh, yeah. That's an interesting example because growing up, I thought it was a sequel to Raiders, not a prequel. I didn't know.
It's a prequel, yeah.
I had no idea. So he goes on to say, he says, I guess it didn't really bother me while I was watching, but afterwards I kind of wondered about it. And not to spoil things, but okay, it's been 5 years, so I'm going to go ahead and tell this. And it's not much of a spoiler because they never explain it, and that's an important part of this, which I'll get to in a second. It's one of the little bits of magic about the show. He says, so it's been 5 years since it came out. Can we discuss the UFOs? What was the point of the UFOs? Do you know? Because I don't have a clue. I mean, talk about a chick in the bucket. But anyway, as I said, I'm enjoying the show. It's really good. Love the show, though. Thomas from Missouri. All right, so let's just talk about that real fast. Yeah. The show and the movies, they all have a thing. Sometimes it's fantastical, sometimes it's small. But they all do this thing where there is an inexplicable thing, either a thread or a moment, that happens with no explanation. They do this all the time. In the first movie, or in the movie, it was her going back to meet that dude she knew in high school, the Asian guy.
Got a little Arby's on you?
That guy.
Oh,
that
Margie.
Oh, Margie. And that was a little more grounded, right? Like it's just
it's not terribly supernatural or fantastical.
No, okay. but it's this moment of like discordance and like what the heck are we doing? And then they move on as if nothing happened, and then you question yourself, well, why was that there? That's on purpose. That stuff. Season 1 did it with those fish. They never explained the fish, although there is kind of an explanation for those fish.
Go back and watch season 1 again to remind myself of the fish.
Right, the fish. That's your season 1 moment. Season 2, the UFOs, which I loved it because it just completely just like, what the frick are you doing? Like I love it. And then 3, I don't want to spoil anything. Let me think about 3 for a second. There's something in 3. What is it? My brain just went dead. There's a third season thing like this. Poop. All right. Well, I don't remember what it is, but
would the 4th one be the hotel? Season 4 be the sisters' hotel?
No. Yes, the guy. But here's the thing about 4. I'm watching it again with Kim. That dude, that like zombie dude or whatever. Yeah. He shows up like 3 or 4 times in the season, but you don't notice it right away. He's in the background on the street at one point on episode 1. You see that guy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So he's that in that show. No explanation. Okay. No idea what's going on there. Huh. So it's meant to do that to you. It's meant to make you feel a little flummoxed.
Yeah, it's like a pulling, not quite a pulling the rug out from underneath you, but certainly shaking your aquarium.
Yes.
While you're.
Oh, I love that. That's a great way to say that. Shaking your aquarium. Because a fish doesn't like that. If there's no way a fish is into it.
Yeah, it disorients it, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I'm really, really happy that you're watching all this, and you should continue on.
I might have to go back.
Yeah, I just love it so much. All right. Finally, we got a...
Who asks in chat, what show is Scott talking about? Like, is the answer
Diced
ever
Tomato?
not?
It's probably Diced Tomato, isn't it?
No, it's Claire. It's Claire Gack.
Oh, Claire Gack. Listen, Claire, we're talking about my favorite show at Fargo. Don't you know?
Trivia question. What show is Scott talking about? What could it be?
If you say what movie, it's Mad Max.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're saying what show, it's Fargo. All right. I got an email from Thomas in Missouri again. This is another important point he makes about Nazi coins and show numbers. Okay. So he's really into getting to us today. He says, hi, Scott and Brian. On yesterday's TMS, Scott was discussing what happens in the year that corresponds with the current episode number. We're talking about future years.
Like when we for a while we were talking about, oh, these are the movies that came out this year and how cool it was, and then we started doing, all right, this is the next year, what's going to happen next year, and then the future.
Yeah,
right.
And like 7 episodes.
It just got people caught up. There
you go, you did it. But but like 7 episodes from now, we'll be doing 2049, so we'll be Blade Runner sequel time, right? Mm-hmm. He says, found this story about a Nazi coin that was found with the year 2039 on it. That might be weird enough for TMS. Here's the story. And then he sent me the story about it. So, boy, there's nothing that'll make conspiracy theorists go more crazy than a coin from the Nazi era.
It's got it ticks every box, doesn't it? Like Nazis, future.
Yep. Hellboy's coming.
Illuminati symbol on the back of the coin by chance?
Yep.
Or
Yep. This is all just long-term trolling. And
the Daily
and I kind of love it. I kind of love it because people are such freaking suckers for this sort of stuff. And then I kind of hate it because they're suckers in a way that makes me sad for humanity. But, like a misprint. Like in season 3 of Fargo, the misprint for the stamp. Do you remember the whole stamp sub story? Do you remember that?
They need 1 cent stamps every time the price goes up.
Nope, that's the movie. This one's different.
Oh, you weren't talking about the movie. You're talking about which season? First season?
3. So Emmett's got that
season
stamp.
3. No, I don't remember. I remember season 4 because I just watched it, and I remember Ewan McGregor and VM Varga and Mary Louise Catherine Gallagher Simpson. And I remember Fat Damon and
that was season
Kirsten.
2.
Yeah, I know. That's like these are the things I remember.
It's good though. It's good to remember.
So I don't remember the stamp sub story. Oh no, it was the airplane, the misprint airplane stamp.
He had
the famous one.
Yeah, the one that was 2 cents, but the 2 was reversed.
Oh, okay. It wasn't the airplane printed upside down stamp, the famous one.
No, but this was their kind of version of that.
Yeah.
And there's a subtle reference there to the film because in the film, Marge's wife was doing the 2 cent stamp.
Marge's husband was, yeah.
Yeah, which he was an artist and he was so excited about doing a stamp for the U.S. Postage. And then there's another connection there early on where they bring up that Stan, what's his name from the movie, that's like the investments expert that Wade goes to get advice before he gets into business with Mr. Lundegaard. Anyway, it's just so good. It's all tied together, you guys. Just get in there. All right. Brian, I'm going to
see if I can make you derail every news story that we talk about in the news segment to a Fargo connection.
We're screwed. It'll happen too. It's so fresh in my mind. All right, here is the news.
I don't watch the news.
Time for the news, and it's brought to you by...
The Boop Show happens today. Catch the podcast or check it live at frogpants.tv at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. It's the only time zone that matters, Indie games coverage from Scott Johnson and Brian Dunaway today.
That's right. We got Monster Sanctuary. Amazing. New game we discovered that we can't wait to tell everybody about. I think there's a tiny boy person at my door because the door won't open, but he's pulling the thing.
Tiny boy person.
Babysitting the boy today. Anyway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's always good to have him.
Wants to come in and squeeze your spongy microphone cover.
Oh, he loves it. He
does love it.
First thing, points at it, wants to squeeze it, says some gibberish, moves on.
It's like...
If you ask him what a cat says now, he goes, meow, like that. It's really good.
Some cats do.
Some cats do.
Like that.
Some cats do.
Some cats do.
All right. Let's see. This first story is about paragliding Santa Claus. We're just over the hump for Christmas, so why not tell this story? Paragliding Santa Claus rescued after getting caught in the power lines in California. Oh, don't worry, kids. He's okay.
Man, yeah, that's a... Jeez.
Uh-huh.
That could have turned really bad
for
both Santa and all the kids watching.
Could have cooked the poor man. A paraglider dressed as Santa Claus, so not the actual Santa Claus, kids, was rescued after being caught in power lines in Rio Linda, California on Sunday. The Santa, although it says Santa, it's a T-E. Like, that's so obvious.
Santa, yes.
Santa was removed.
CBS News.
I know. CBSNews.com.
Santa.
We live in a world with no editors. What a horrible time. Anyway, it was removed safely from the power lines after being trapped for over an hour, according to the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. The Sacramento Fire Department tweeted photos and video of the rescue itself. I thought I would share some of this real quick here with the chat room. This is one reason you want to be here live. Sometimes we show stuff on screen. And there it is.
It's a really boring video, by the way.
Is
it? It's the same photo you're looking at, but a person walks around one of the fire trucks.
Oh, that is boring.
Yes. It's not like there's a close up. I'm curious if the guy kept his beard on the whole time, like if he stayed in character.
He made a tourniquet out of it or something. I don't know what you'd do.
That's right, exactly.
I think I would question my desire to be in the air as Santa Claus. Maybe take it down a notch and just work on the ground.
I feel like that's got to be something you learn on day 2 of paragliding class is how to avoid power lines.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you do that? We had a guy here. I think we talked about him years ago. He's famous for his name is Super Dale. Anyway, he sucks. He's this guy.
I love that. That's the best.
He's this guy, and locals. As soon as I said that, locals are going to know who I'm talking about. It's this guy that started this computer. He made personal computers for people in the 90s, called Totally Awesome Computers. I'm not kidding.
Oh God, I'm already hating this guy.
And he's the biggest, loudest, alpha nerd. I don't know how else to explain him. He's just really obnoxious and in your face. And his commercials were always, Totally Awesome Computers got you covered with a 500 megabyte hard drive and like Voodoo 2 cards. What? Come get them. So there's this whole thing about his commercials, and they were terrible and everyone hated him, but he made a lot of money, did really well here locally. Yeah. Turns out leaning into being annoying is actually good business, or it can be. So he did all that.
It's a bummer. You don't want that person to get rewarded.
Yes. And then a company called PC Laptops, which had a whole similar vibe. They made computers, mostly laptops. They've merged with them or kind of bought out Totally Awesome. And then this guy, Super Dale, just bought a gigantic mansion house in Draper and disappeared. Until one day, he's at the point of the mountain where a lot of people leap off of there with their paragliding stuff. And then they can just float down to wherever. He does this. And while he's doing it, he runs into an endangered species version of an eagle, not an American eagle like the stereotypical one, but a kind of eagle. And they are
not a bald eagle, but just like a golden eagle.
Or something like that. And they're extremely rare and on the list, and you can't mess with them and all that. He sees this thing, and it's kind of flying in tandem with him. So he decides to kind of fly closer to it, and then kicks the shit out of the damn bird.
Seriously?
Yeah, just kicks this bird and laughs the whole time. Got in huge trouble for it. So there you go. Anyway.
So he's also, is he Super Dale and Super Dell? Like I see them using the term Super Dell.
I think
Super
it's
Dell Shanzy.
Yeah, that's him, Del Shanzy, Dell. Not Dale. It's Super Dale.
Apparently,
Osborne,
in October, he was charged with brandishing a gun during an altercation between him and a group of Draper residents.
Yep, that's another time we've heard about it. Good old Super
Former computer self-proclaimed gun rights activist and computer store magnate.
Yeah, that's the guy. By the way, so here's a fun thing for you, Brian. I'll put it in Discord.
Okay.
This is... Okay, it's not working. Why? Well, what's the problem here? Discord. Okay, there we go. That's him in the 90s. And I'll put it up for the... Yeah. I know. You just see him and go, ugh. Okay, so that's Super Dell.
Yeah.
I was in an airplane back from not Costco. I fly to Costco. No.
Well, some folks drive.
From... what was it called? Oh, Comdex before it ended back in Vegas back in the day.
Okay.
So this is like 2002 or something. And we went to Comdex that year, me and this guy named John, and we were in the plane, and we hear some arguing at the front of the line before we got in. And we're like, who's arguing? What's going on? It was somebody who wanted to get on the plane, demanded they had a ticket, but they didn't have the ticket with them, and this big old fight was breaking out. We get on the plane, we don't think anything more of it. It was Super Dale fighting over whether his ticket was accurate or some weird thing, and he ended up talking the lady into it and was now sitting in the front of the plane, and then that dude would not effing shut up. Just The whole flight home. Yeah, it was just Vegas, so like what, an hour and a half or something, but not so it wasn't that big a deal. But he's yelling.
But you could hear him from where you were.
Yes, it was like halfway through the plane, I could hear him. And then at one point, he gets up and he goes, "Hey, for the rest of the ride, we should all have a game. Let's play a game. Who wants to play a game?" And nobody's responding. I'm like, Dell, sit down, dude. He was an a-hole. Still is, apparently.
Wow. Yeah, apparently still is.
Yeah.
Somebody who craves the attention, craves the spotlight.
Yeah, he loves it. He ate it up, that guy.
Somebody needs to whap him upside the head with a can of Twisted Tea is what they need to do.
There you have it. So, yes, I was thinking of Super Dale Osborne, who was played by the guy who just died.
Oh, I know.
What's his name?
Yeah, they're filming the next season of Curb Your Enthusiasm during the pandemic.
Oh, that's
and it's going to reference the pandemic.
That's great.
I can't think of anything that Larry David would complain about in 2020. It feels like...
I think that they're going to play up the fact that it's a year where people have to avoid each other, and he's going to love it. He's going to think
love
that's
it.
great.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, dude, I can't wait. That's great.
I know, me too.
The only show I've seen where the pandemic was part of the storyline throughout a season was that Superstore show I recommended. They did this entire year, pandemic affected, and it was great because they're basically playing a fake chain that's like Walmart or Target. They had storylines like everyone's hoarding toilet paper, and we got to hide the stash on the ceiling, and the Karen lady came in, and all that stuff they get to play with. It's pretty great.
Yeah. There was another one. This Is Us, I think. Tina watches that, and she said that they also did pandemic storylines.
Is that the one with
I guess Grey's Anatomy?
Dude from Heroes on it? Who am I thinking of?
Yes.
Milo Pigliano or
Milo Ventimiglia. Yes, he's on it with Mandy Moore.
It's not Milo Pigliano. I had that wrong. Is what you're saying?
Milo Pigliano. Milo Pigliano.
Oh yeah, Mandy Moore. Okay, yeah. I thought this was off the air. Well, good on them, I guess.
I think it's like NBC's biggest drama right now.
Is it?
I think it's yeah.
All right. I don't really get into these network shows.
I watched some of the first season with Tina. I said, "Hey, guess what? You can watch the rest of this on your own."
Yeah, not really my jam.
But she did just catch up on the first 2 seasons of Cobra Kai in a hurry so that we can watch season 3 together, and she loves it.
That starts soon, right?
So season 3, I think, came out this week. It might, I think it either just came out or comes out later this week. But.
Wow. All right. Dice Tomato says Grey's Anatomy. Okay, hold on. I just want to make sure I have this right. So Grey's Anatomy is dealing with COVID.
Yeah.
Dice Tomato watches Grey's Anatomy. Am I hearing that right?
Wow.
Dice Tomato.
Yeah, that surprises me. Yeah.
I don't know you at all. Who are you? That's amazing. That's great stuff to learn. All right. For some reason, the tab is all black for me. There we go.
Your
very weird.
Your ability to complain about things, your power is diminishing, Dice Tomato, because you're a fan of Grey's Anatomy.
Yep. You've done it now, buddy. All right. Here's a story about PlayStation. They have it's video games and stuff. You familiar with them?
It's my annual. Let's go to Best Buy, refresh the page. Nope, still sold out.
Yeah,
all right, we're done. Okay.
Kind of hard to get them right now. Yeah. If Xboxes and PlayStations are easily this year's most scarce. Well, that's not true. The
Switches
RTX
for a while were really hard to come by too.
Oh yeah, earlier in the year.
I think they're back to being plenty available.
I think so. But the other hard thing now is GeForce RTX 3080s are really hard to get. Oh man, really hard. Good luck everybody getting those. You're not going to get one until 2021 is what I'm saying. Anyway, PlayStation Productions, which is kind of their little film side of which we haven't seen a whole lot from yet, has 3 movies and 7 television shows in the works. Ooh,
that's cool. What did they did an adaptation of some comic book thing? Was it Powers?
Oh yeah, right.
Powers early on,
right?
Yeah,
yep.
That I think that I heard was just horrible.
It was bad.
Was it? It was animated, or was it? It was animated, right?
Live action, I think.
It was live action.
I could be wrong. Hold on a second. Powers TV show.
Who killed? Oh God, what was the big spray painted thing from that?
That was 5 years ago, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Let's see.
I loved the comic book. God, the comic book was so good, and so the art was just so simple and.
Oh yeah, this had it was that Charlton Copley
Retro
dude.
Girl. Yes, thank you, Talia. Yep.
Charlton Copley, Eddie Izzard was in it. There's a bunch of people. He wants she and her now. By the way, have you heard that? Have you read that? Eddie Izzard wants to.
Wants to be called she and her.
Yeah, but also I think he changed Eddie to something, or I guess she did. I don't know what. I don't know what they changed it to. Harold
Edwina.
I mean, what would you do if you were going to change?
If I was an Eddie and I wanted to,
let's say tomorrow you wanted to change your pronouns and you were like, I want to be her, she. What does Brian? How did we get
Brianna? Brianna's the obvious one. I just switched to Brianna. It's not a big deal.
What if I want to?
Although, do I take the opportunity to like go with a name I've always wanted?
I see. Just pick a new name.
Like, do I go Vanessa or Jessica or?
How about Barbarella Ibbett?
Barbarella, there we go.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep, there we go.
You can show us your boobs. Let's see.
Is it now $30 at the courthouse? Oh, it's $50 at the courthouse. Nice
it's 50 now. 75 maybe? I don't know. Anyway, the point is they're going to do some new stuff, so we finally get to see what they're maybe capable of. They're going to be translations of game franchises in some way or another. They have 10 total projects in the work, and so like I said, 7 of those are TV shows, 3 are movies. This was revealed to Media Post by CEO of Sony Pictures, Tony Vinciquerra, I believe is how you say it.
Vinciquerra.
Of these projects, we know that the Uncharted movie is in post-production, so that's a thing. HBO is also developing a show based off The Last of Us. We know about that one. Mm-hmm. And it is unclear if the Metal Gear Solid movie, which is set to star Oscar Isaac, is included in that number or not. Actually, weirdly excited to see how that turns out.
Kind of, yeah.
But it's not a Sony thing, though. Like, that's freaking Konami. I don't know why that one would count, but maybe. I don't know.
Oh, right.
I mean, Sony...
Alan Wake is... who did Alan Wake? Because maybe an adaptation of that would be kind of cool.
That's Xbox, I think.
Xbox, okay. Well, never mind that.
Hold on. Who's the... Yeah,
Laura
Xbox.
For real really wants to know what your girl name is. Listen, I picked Vanessa because Vanessas eat at restaurants with tablecloths. That's just bottom line. Bottom line, Vanessas eat at restaurants with tablecloths.
Why is that? Well, I'm super.
Vanessas don't drink beer; they only drink clear liquors.
Jeez, this is great.
Yeah, Vanessas. What else? What else do we know about Vanessas?
How do Vanessas get their cars cleaned? Do they pay someone to detail it, or do they drive through one of the
Vanessa
wishy-washies?
never would set foot in a dress barn. Only New York and Company.
Oh man, I don't know any Vanessas. I need to check this out.
You need to know some Vanessas. Is the deal? Yes.
Do you know a lot of Vanessas?
I don't know any. I mean, other than the Vanessas, Stack Vanessa in the chat room, and
that Vanessa that took center
Stack
stage.
Vanessa says, "I'm going to let you know you're way off."
All right, Stack Vanessa.
Come on, give me other Vanessas. Like, what would a Vanessa do or not do? The rules of Vanessas.
Interesting.
Vanessas don't own cars; they have drivers. Thank you, Houdini.
Okay. All right.
We've got a thing happening here.
I like this. This is good.
Well, while they're coming up with those, what would be your girl name? Like, if you had to.
Oh, geez. I've never thought of this before. Something with a T for some reason. Start with a T.
Okay.
Like, not Tabitha or like. I don't know. I can't think of anything good. No, not Scotette. That's lame. I want like a
Scotette.
I want to have
Tiffany. Would you be a Tiffany?
Look at Kay Kazumi calling me out. Look at that. Look, he says right there. Scots have political opinions without doing any research.
Wow.
Hey, there you go. A, that's not true, and B, I see you. I see you, Kay Kazumi.
I think Tiffany, Tasha, Teresa.
Tasha?
Tasha.
My name is Tanya.
Tabitha.
I could do like Tanya, like this lady. Hold on, let's play her. Remember Tanya?
I do.
My name is Tanya.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I love her. Okay, here she goes. This would be me.
My name is Tanya.
Feels like the intro to a Real Housewives or Bachelorette or something like that.
Look at Kazumi's answer to my thing. Jury calls him out all the time. No, he doesn't. What do you mean he calls me out? He never once has he said to me, You have a political opinion you didn't do any research about. He doesn't ever say that to me.
He calls you out for other things, but not for that.
No, that's dumb.
Yeah.
All right. Terry, maybe. And then I would I'd cut all my fingers off.
Be a...
I'd have 2 fingers. You'd call me Two Finger Terry. That's what I want. I want a mafia name. Two Finger Terry.
Nice, Two Finger Terry.
Yep. That's what I want.
Please tell me how you got your nickname Two Finger Terry. Because you only have 2 fingers, or is it something you can do with those 2 fingers?
Oh, I didn't think about that implication.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to call, that's why we called Rainer, Jim Raynor in Heroes of the Storm, we called him Two Button Terry because of all the characters, he had 2 ability buttons and not 3 like everyone else. Okay. So we called him Two Button Terry. So that fits pretty well. But if you call somebody Two Finger Terry, you could jump to some conclusions, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Not nice conclusions about what the 2 fingers are about.
And is it like the shocker? Oh, I guess that's 3 fingers is the shocker. Never mind.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
I love it.
Kazumi says I am now cornering them. No, you're
and Jury actually jumped in the chat and said, "No, I don't."
Yeah, he doesn't. He's never done that. Not once.
No. They call you out for other things, but not for not doing research.
We have plenty of arguments, but usually
you definitely do research. I know.
Yeah. I think Kazumi may. Well, whatever. Email me. Yes. We'll have a chat.
Back to what Vanessa's do.
Vanessa. Anyway, no, they're going to do a bunch of these. Here are some options: Siphon Filter, Twisted Metal, Bloodborne. These could be shows. Something with Sackboy or Astrobot, who's that new pack-in game character, which probably has some legs to it. Anyway, that could be interesting. PlayStation Productions, you know. Nintendo's got some movies in the works as well. Got a
Crash
Mario.
Bandicoot. Can we get a Crash Bandicoot TV show, cartoon?
It's no longer a Sony exclusive, so I don't know.
Oh, right. Man.
That's on everything now. There's a new version of that game, actually. A new Bandicoot game that's actually really good, but you can get it anywhere. So I don't know. I don't know what I'd rather see. Like, I would love to see a Halo movie if Microsoft ever got off their butt and got that worked out. I would love to see an Uncharted movie, which is being filmed. So I guess we'll get that chance finally.
Yeah.
Love to see.
Why is it being filmed? Why isn't it being filmed with Nathan Fillion though? I mean, just feels like
because he's old now. I think.
Well, okay.
If 10 years ago, when they should have done it, they had it. They could have done it. Now, I don't know. I don't think he can Nathan Drake it as well as he used to be able to.
Yeah. Tina said that. Oh God, I'm blanking on his name.
Lawrence Fishburne.
No, Mando.
It's Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal looks like Nathan Fillion after a fight.
You're saying he's all puffy because he got punched a lot in the face. Oh man, that is amazing.
I think Pedro Pascal is a very handsome gentleman.
Right. No.
I think Tina thinks that as well, but
no, I get it though. I get it. That's very good. That might be my favorite thing I've heard today. Well done, Tina. My name is Tina. All right, we're moving on. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Jury will be here. I'm sure he'll be here to call me out for some research I didn't do. That's going to be exciting.
Sure, yes.
I want to find out what's going on with this changes to the stimulus bill. I want to find out what the latest is on the Georgia runoffs. And also I want to find out why he really, really liked Wonder Woman 1984.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Could we lead with that? Because that feels like it's going to take a while to unpack.
It's a lot. So I think what we'll do is quickly address those first two and then get right to the meeting, right to the meat of the issue. So that's all coming up soon. Watch for that right after this song selection by Brian Ibbett Industries.
Oh, I'm loving this already. This is a brand new band called Phantom Electric out of Atlanta. And they've got just right off the bat, kind of remind me of Queens of the Stone Age, a little bit of Nine Inch Nails, maybe a little bit of Rage Against the Machine. Anyway, they have a brand new album called Modern Culture. Actually, they began in 2013, so they're not a brand new band, but they have a brand new album. Nick Whitson, who is one of the founders of the band, was actually in another Atlanta-based band called Alchemy, and then they left that to become the first version of Phantom Electric in 2015 with producer Christopher Sampson. Anyway, this is great stuff. Here is the song Modern Culture from the album Modern Culture by Phantom Electric.
You think you'll want to change your name?
Ned?
No, not the Ned part, unless you want to.
Hey, bitch, yes, dude.
The Morning Stream. Strong enough for a man, but made for Brian Ibbett.
Vanessa.
I mean, Vanessa Ibbett isn't that bad of a name. It's pretty.
It's not
good.
bad, Vanessa Ibbett.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do. As we've found with names in my family, it's more difficult to end a name with a vowel before Ibbett, like Tina Ibbett. Tina Ibbett. You gotta really space it. Tina Ibbett.
Tina Ibbett. Tinibbit.
Tina Ibbett. Yes.
Interesting. And I want that T. I was thinking. I hadn't think about the combo with Johnson. So if I did something with a T, Terry Johnson. Oh, I don't.
Can do. Yeah, I mean Johnson works pretty well because it's you can do a consonant or a vowel ending.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that works. All right, we are going
TMS
to...
with Scarlett and Vanessa.
There you go.
Skywalker.
Scarlett Johnson. That's not bad.
Scarlett Johnson.
Joe Onson.
There'll be no confusion whatsoever between any other.
No other
Scarlett
people.
J's.
No.
We could call you Scojo for short.
Sure. People do that now.
We call you Scojo for short. Yeah.
People already do it.
Oh, it's Scarjo is her nickname, right?
Oh, Scarjo. Scojo is somebody else.
Scott Johnson.
Well, somebody else though. Who is it? There's another actor or actress that does that.
Oh, really? The Scojo?
Oh,
I know Flojo.
I don't know about a Scojo. I thought there was another Scojo. I can't think of it. It's gonna annoy me. All right, here's the other thing. Real quick, my daughter and I had the conversation yesterday. I wouldn't call it an argument, but it was a conversation we had where she said to me, and then so I know we've got some trans folk and others in the chat who may have a better idea on this than I'm getting.
Trans folk!
Yeah. Trans people who are trans. Yes. There you go.
I know, yes.
So here's what she said. She said, Dad, you should on your Twitter profile put he, him. And I said, well, was there some confusion? And she goes, no, but people will appreciate that you state your pronouns you prefer because that in part helps normalize it for everybody to just be more cognizant of the people's preferred pronouns, which I'm all for, of course.
Makes sense.
But right? But I said to her, you really think it's going to make any difference if I do it? And she was like, yes, because you're a person of influence in some small way, and therefore those who influence would be a good thing. And I said, well, don't you think we had this back and forth about whether people would think it felt pandering or it felt disingenuous or whatever people may take from it. And I still really don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
I do. She's got a very good point. I didn't think about that, but that isn't. It does help normalize it so that it's not like, oh well, only the people who want to present with a non-cisgender identity are going to do this.
Yeah.
But this does help make it a little bit more acceptable, or not acceptable, but a little bit more mainstream, or a little bit more.
Sure. So the people are just more. I don't know. Maybe they're just more mindful of like. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't assume stuff about people I either don't know or, whatever. People maybe seem different to me at first, and I don't know what to call them or whatever. So I totally get it. But she was like, you should do it, Dad. You should do it. In fact, today she'll probably tell me again. So maybe I'll do it. I don't know.
There you go. I don't know.
But what if I want pronouns like it and Lord on high or something?
The they and them that's common, and it's a difficult one for me. I don't want to use the word difficult, but it's a hard one for me to switch to, right? Like, knowing the he and him or the she and her, but the they and them, it feels like there's times where it's hard to reference them as a they or as a them. But
I'm gonna do Lord Chancellor /
jeez.
No, I don't know what I want, but anyway, that's the fun thing. I'll put Scarlett / Scott. We're starting to push toward that Scarlett thing. So, yeah,
Yes,
no,
let me
I'm not going to
describe
mock
it.
it, you guys. Don't worry. That's why I'm asking. That's the point. Is I wonder
Mm-hmm.
if I would even make an impact. Would it matter?
Oh yeah,
if I did?
Yeah, and no, he wouldn't do it jokingly. That
No.
would be exactly yes.
Let's not make assumptions in the chat room, okay?
Right.
Let's not become like a certain name I won't say. All right, I'm going to call Justin now.
Wow.
I'm going to call Justin.
You mean Justin?
No, not Justin. Definitely not Justin.
We're talking about Justin.
But we are going to be talking not only about him, but with him. And we're going to do it right now with the introduction of him with this introduction thing.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Welcome to the show. Justin Robert Young joins us from Oakland, California, each and every Tuesday to discuss all things. We'll just say all things. Sometimes it's political,
Yeah, all
sometimes it
things.
isn't. Sometimes it's just opinions about bad superhero movies, which we'll get to a little bit later. Justin, welcome to the program. How are you?
Hell of an intro, Scott. Hell of an intro. Way to set the table.
Yep.
I'm glad that we, just got a nice even surface that we can now discuss internet hotspot arguments like politics and female-centric movies. I'm glad that we're just starting from level 0 and you didn't totally, for no reason, like totally apropos of nothing, just touched off a massive cultural issue. Just kick that anthill just for laughs. Like just to set up as if this segment doesn't draw enough heat.
Yeah.
We have to start with that.
We don't even look.
Jury, would you please do your research?
Oh my God.
Yeah, look, earlier today we got accused of we got accused, or I should say, I got accused of a certain level of ignorance plus opinion, and that you often call me out on it, but I don't think that's ever happened.
Here's what you're about to get accused of: reading the damn chat too much. Do a show.
Yeah.
No one's listening on podcasts, which is by far your biggest audience, and saying, "You want to know what? I really wish you read the chat more."
Yeah,
I really love those. I love those pauses.
Yeah,
we cover that in episode 1 of America's Next Top Podcaster. Don't read the chat.
We did. Did I learn anything? No, I didn't learn a damn thing from season 1, episode 1 of ANTP, which you should sign up for. What, today's the last day, Brian?
Today's the last day.
Okay.
Yes, and Jury, boy, you can even talk about really quickly the new prize that we're adding to the prize pack, which is already really cool and coming together nicely. But do you want to say what you're adding?
So Dog and Pony Show Audio, which is my fledgling emerging production company, that is going to be where Raise the Dead is produced from, and the new podcast that we just sneak peeked, Feature Story. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up in 2021. We will develop an episode with you, and you can either use that as a pilot for a show that you would like to take going forward. You could make it a special episode of a podcast that you already do. But you will work with me and whoever else we need to with the Through Dog and Pony Show Audio to make that something awesome and special, and something that you can take away from this process beyond just the title itself.
Very, cool. Very, very cool. I think that's awesome. Yeah. What an awesome thing to win if you win. So good luck with that, whoever participates. May your fight be wildly competitive.
Valiant.
Noble.
And,
noble, all that stuff. But let's get right to it. The big issues on the table today, for example, we might actually get the 2K after all for the stimulus bill change. And I don't know how much you know about that process or where things are at.
This is developing as we speak, literally since you guys started recording. Both of the Republican the senators in the Georgia runoff, they both agreed to do it, which that is thought to be a little bit of a bellwether on whether or not this will actually pass, because Mitch McConnell and a lot of the Republican leadership are very invested in them winning that race, because then they stay in the majority. So it looks like we might. And that was not something that was thought to be possible, but it turns out Donald Trump's final act of chaos might actually end up in $2,000 falling into our laps instead of $600.
Yeah, which would be, there are a lot of people I think that would really be good for. So I hope I hope that works itself out. Isn't it? It is an interesting position for people to find themselves in, and it's also weirdly contradictory right now. Like the House Republicans voted with a majority to override his veto of the defense spending plan, which I don't think anyone...
that was about. I mean, but the stuff he wanted in the defense spending plan was he wanted to repeal Section 230, which is what guides and allows Facebook and Twitter to operate. So he was saying that was national defense, which I think many people saw was a bit of a stretch. There was some other stuff in there that probably would have gotten a little bit more traction, at least with some of the Republican senators, like the renaming of forts and stuff like that. That's a culture war issue that plays a little bit better with the rank and file. But by and large, unless you are an extremely online person, you have no idea what Section 230 is, and it is certainly not something that is as important enough to have the troops not get paid.
Right. Okay. So that makes sense. And I'm whatever. I'm glad to hear that we're not shutting down the government, and also the likelihood of that $2K for working Americans who are struggling trying to make
and that was apparently the détente negotiated by Lindsey Graham and other Senate Republicans with Trump over the weekend.
Okay. Well done.
That he would sign, but they would push for this in the Senate.
Okay. So there you go. Georgia runoffs. Where are we at with those? Just as a quick check-in here. Are we? We're getting there.
Well, they're still going to happen on January 5th. January 4th, Trump will go down there for his second rally, which I did not think we would necessarily see. You got a lot of people that are heading down there, including myself. I will be down there covering it for politics. But the odd thing about it is that right now, we have very little idea on exactly what's happening because there's not a lot of polls that are there. It seems as if the big pollsters, which were pretty consistently off for at least the Senate races, and certainly in some of the presidential state polls, are just kind of sitting this one out. There's a few local television stations, and Trafalgar and Emerson are, I think, the only two national polling outfits that are there. But it looks like a fairly close race, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah. Wow. Do you think it'll have a measurable impact to have them there again on the Republican side? Because up till now, there's been kind of a weird split of don't vote for them. They're the Republicans in the state didn't do what we needed them to do in the election, so therefore screw them, whatever. And then he's even kind of been back and forth, and then now he's like, no, we got to win. If we don't win, it's the country's at stake or whatever. Do you think
he's shredded the governor. He's taken it out on the governor and their Secretary of State. Yeah. In his first rally, he was very, about as on message as one can be if your name is Donald Trump, about how everybody needs to go out there and vote for Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue. We would presume that he will do something, even more dialed in if he's coming back, because that's something that he might not necessarily want to do right now.
Right. But also, I think part of him, the Scott opinion time, I think he just likes crowds, and he likes them yelling Yahoo for him and wearing his red hats, and I think he's stoked just to do that.
Yeah, again. but he could do that anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If he wanted to have a rally, he could do it in Alabama, and it would get he could probably fill the football stadium, and he would do a backflip and everybody would clap, right? Yeah. Like that would just be that. This is him dialing into the political sphere and trying to make a difference for the Republicans, which is interesting, like you mentioned, because he doesn't exactly have the best relationship with some of the Republican leadership right now, including Mitch McConnell, who is going to ultimately control the fate of this $2,000 proposition.
All right. Now, just a side note, I would pay up to $500 to watch Donald J. Trump do a backflip, like a physical backflip. I would love to
Have you seen, there was a thing on TikTok for a while that was like showing you in like 4 steps how to learn how to do a flip.
No.
Like, yeah, it was like you have to like learn how to do like a somersault or get really used to doing a somersault. And then it's basically just like a jumping somersault or something like that.
Have you tried this? Have you given this a shot?
Hell no.
Do you have to film yourself doing all 4 steps for TikTok?
I live in a very, very urban life these days. I just kind of walk around Oakland and like drink beer and listen to unfinished podcast.
That's awesome. I like where you're at. All right, now to the meat of the day, the important stuff. The fruit that was higher up on the tree, a little harder to reach, but now we're pulling it down. Most of the world is a solid meh when it comes to the latest Wonder Woman film, Wonder Woman 84 or WW84. And except for our good friend Justin Robert Young, who I have read everything I've read from you has been nothing but positive and the opposite of meh. And so I'm just curious why you think that movie is great and why we're all wrong. I don't hate it, but I was real like mediocre on it. I came away going, it wasn't that great. So why are we wrong? Because
you would consider us friends, right, Scott?
Oh yeah, totally. We're pals.
We're like
pals.
friends.
Yeah,
like
we're friends.
You have my number. You could text me if you'd like, or you could DM me, or like
anytime.
There's no shortage of lines of communication. So why is this now the second week in a row in which you've had a very strong opinion, or at least projected that I had a very strong opinion about something for which, like, I don't think that the receipts necessarily bear that out?
Well, okay. So I would point to your Twitter timeline where you've made multiple comments about why you think that thing is great in direct opposition of people like Bryce.
Okay. I said I liked it.
Okay.
I didn't say it was great.
Okay.
These are two different things. In fact, if you actually read my Twitter timeline, then you would see that I called it things like an overstuffed mess, which it is. I can't believe anybody watched that 2.5 hour movie and said, wow, no fat, perfect, ship it. This is great. No additions or subtractions. That's all we need.
Yeah, you're right. You didn't do that. I'll give you that. But you did say, look, here, let me quote one. Let me give you an example. All right. So Justin says, oh, whoops. Hold on.
Yeah. What I'm saying, Scott, is that you didn't do your research and I'm calling you out on it.
I know. I was like, oh no, is this going to like flare all this up again?
After all that earlier, after all my denials,
yeah,
you're literally having a moment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Headshot.
Well done. You did it. All right. Well, tell me why I'm wrong to think it was so mediocre and you think it's better than that then. How about that?
Look, number one, I don't care whether or not people like it or not. I certainly, the movie I saw, I could certainly see why people wouldn't like it. It's not exactly a particularly coherent movie, nor does it necessarily fit in the same mold as the first Wonder Woman movie. But then again, I thought the first Wonder Woman movie was like competent, and I will say now, maybe a scotch overrated, because the third act is, not only very, very, very trite superhero movie. It ends with a big monster and there's a bunch of fire around the monster and the hero is punching the monster and you don't really know how or why it's going to end. It's just like when they're done punching and throwing things at each other, like maybe it'll end. But then also they're directly ripping off Captain America First Avenger, where a Chris is in a plane and then sacrifices himself to save the world. So I liked it though. I really did. I liked the first Wonder Woman. I just think it's scotch overrated. This one was something that is very, very, very different. And I appreciated it in this late stage superhero phase that we're in. I liked it for the fact that it's a superhero movie that I don't think we'll ever see again. It is a one of one. Nobody else is going to ever greenlight let's do a movie about wishes. Let's make a multi-billion-dollar bet on the Wish idea. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. And I thought that the acting carried it for me.
I will agree with you. I thought that I'm part of that. I thought that Gal Gadot, her performance was actually kind of subtle and great. I really liked it. I thought it was better than the first one, where she was just a little bit blank to me. And in this one, she was a lot better, so that stood out. Kristen Wiig was great, even though I don't know that her thread was all that well handled. Her performance and conversion from nerd girl at the geological whatever place they worked. I guess it was the Smithsonian.
The Smithsonian?
The Smithsonian.
It wasn't the Department of Funny Walks. It was the Smithsonian, Scott.
Right. You're right. But that stuff, she's great. I like her a lot. I just felt like everything was overlong and weird. Your exact quote on Twitter that jumped out at me was this reply to Archio Astro on Twitter. You said, "I loved it for the same reasons I loved Aquaman. Just a massive, bloated movie stuffed with a bunch of logic that only makes sense in that universe." You stand by those words, I assume. You like that?
Does that read like a rave to you?
No,
it does
reads
not.
like
a massive bloated movie. Is that normally what people when they're discussing The Godfather? Do they say what a massive bloated movie?
But the rave part is you saying I loved it. That's the first three words in the thing. I loved it. You loved it, right? Do you love it? Or no?
I love a lot of things.
All right. Well,
I'm full of love, Scott. I got a lot of love to give.
It's leaking all over the place.
You're not all out of love.
Yeah.
No.
We're so lost.
I might have. That also came at the end of a Christmas day, for which there may have been a few pops.
I see. I see where it comes from. Well, that's all right. I mean, whatever. Do you think? So they've greenlit a third. So they must care enough about the franchise to keep it going.
Oh, that's a fake thing. That's
it is?
thing.
Oh, really?
Oh,
no. This is something that my buddy Andrew Main has been on since the 90s. Like since the internet existed and movie studios realized that a certain kind of audience could be assuaged by a press release. The move is you announce that a sequel has been greenlit when a movie has mixed reviews, because it doesn't matter. Like nothing in Hollywood works like that. Like they're going to wait to see exactly how much money it makes, where it makes the money. And then when they're deciding what movies get made in 6 months to a year, they're going to decide, okay, well, exactly how much budget do we have for it? Can we get the star and director for that amount of money? And then they're going to make that decision. So this is basically just a press release.
Interesting. Okay, because it is. I mean, like here's the Los Angeles Times saying it. And they said, following the success of Wonder Woman in 1984, Warner Brothers announced plans to expedite development of the third installment of the franchise. And they give a bunch of details, and Patty Jenkins is going to be there again, and blah, blah, blah. And you're saying that may be true, but this isn't proof that it's true. The proof is the money in the long run, and that can always change. They just do this to pump up current watching and current trips to the movie theater.
I mean, even if it's for sure, like we know for sure that there's gonna be another Avengers movie. But after Endgame came out, did we get a press release saying new Avengers movie?
Right.
No.
Right. MCU is greenlit or Disney has greenlit a new Avengers movie.
No, because they know that,
they don't need to.
Well, because also it's like all this means is that now, if and when this movie doesn't make the kind of money that they wanted to, or there's new leadership at Warner Brothers and they have a problem with Patty Jenkins, or Patty Jenkins wants too much control or money and they have to replace Patty Jenkins on the movie, then it'll be like Patty Jenkins pursuing other things instead of Wonder Woman 3 or whatever.
Sure.
Like this is just them saying, I'm sure Patty Jenkins has it in her contract that she's down for another one. And so they can say that contractually everybody should be coming back. But I don't think that this makes it any more or less likely that we will A, get a sequel, or B, that Patty Jenkins will come back.
She's got that Rogue Squadron deal. So who knows? That could take.
Oh, really? Yeah.
How much time that takes, or if that has any impact on whether she sticks around as director, or if this is even, like you said, if it even happens. That's interesting. Now I'm going to look at this differently. Every time someone announces a sequel. Like
well, just notice it always happens with movies that have mixed reviews.
Right.
Interesting.
Right around the release of the
Because then you and Andrew actually explained this. He put it to words in his Twitter. So go to at Andrew Main. But when word of mouth is being affected by the fact that people don't like the movie, people can say, how bad can it be? They're making a sequel.
Yeah. Which is, I'd never thought of this, but that sounds like a pretty good strategy. Like it probably works. Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough. And also, what good does it do if it was real? If it was 100% locked in? I'm starting to question everything here. What good did it do to tell me? You know what I mean? Like, what did it do? Did it make me go, oh, you know what it did do? It made me go, oh, it must have done all right. Mm-hmm. Even though I thought it was bad, did all right. So,
I mean, understand this. Everything in Hollywood is stage managed.
Yeah.
Up to and including all the press stuff, right? So, like, I've known people or been involved in television shows for which the shows are done, right? Yeah. They're finished. It's over. Yeah. It's long been locked and everything, but nobody can say anything about it until the trailer comes out because they want to maximize their push, right? So what does it say about the health of a franchise that the studio thinks that it needs that push now?
Yeah.
While the second movie is coming out.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Think about
man.
that. Yeah. That's how they get you.
But yeah, I like the movie, and I actually like Kristen Wiig's arc. I thought that it was a very, again, this is the kind of thing that I don't think you're gonna see in a lot of other superhero movies, which by and large are fairly testosterone driven. That like Kristen Wiig's arc was, I'm a nerd girl who gets to be special, and now I'm going to beat up the hero, not because I hate the hero or I want the hero to be dead or I'm just a crazy power mad bitch, but because I don't want to be a nobody anymore.
Right.
Like that I thought was a cool arc. And then also she beats up a rapist in a park. Well, actually, technically, she beats up a rapist in the White House when she beats up Wonder Woman, because that body guy who Chris Pine is in definitely did not consent to whatever the hell they did in that apartment.
That's a very good point. Yes.
I hadn't thought about that till just now, so thanks for that.
So she beats up a sexual assaulter in the park.
Right.
She beats up a rapist in the White House.
Right. Well done. Which, again, we'll leave that one there. Hey, real quick here, one note.
Sorry, Scott. You want to go back to whether or not you want to mock pronouns?
No. Here's what I want to do. I wanted to mention, now you made me forget. What was I going to say? It was about the movie, and it was a thing. I have this problem that Brian Ibbett has with time travel movies. I have with movies where any part of the plot deals with people's wishes being fulfilled.
Yes.
That never works for me because my brain immediately says, well, just wish for more wishes, or don't wish to be the stone itself. Wish to have this power of the stone constantly with you. Like, get more complex and smart with your wishes. And if people actually did that, it'd all fall apart. And also, there are enough people in the world when he's on the TV telling them all to make a wish. There are people who are so going to make the worst possible wishes, there's no coming back from them. Like, I just know all of that's true. So that wish thing breaks for me almost immediately as a trope in a film. I can't do it. Like, it's just dumb. So for me, that was
it's magic. But then again, but your problem is magic plots.
Yeah.
Like there's and when I say magic plots, I mean that unless you are setting very firm rules within your magical plots. So it's like, oh, well, I can turn into a werewolf, but only when it's a full moon, or I can shoot fireballs, but only when I eat fiber or whatever. Like, and so therefore you have boundaries on it, then it can break. And ultimately that's historically been my problem with like Superman movies, because they never really set good boundaries for his magic.
Right.
Like it's always like, oh, Superman can't move this heavy thing, and then he like squints and like goes and he moves the heavy thing, and it's like, all right, well, what happened? Did he do
another or a heavier
or
thing
like
somewhere else?
Yeah.
Well, right.
Or the heavy thing has a speck of kryptonite on it, and now he can't move it. Like the kryptonite.
Well, yeah, exactly. But then like he like squints harder and he moves it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a movie that you have to go. And I will say this, I'll admit this. I read on the internet a script leak about this movie. So I was prepared for it to be this crazy, I wish for crazy things movie. And so I went in understanding that it was going to be that. And I feel like I was able to enjoy it on a different level than if I had gone in really loving the first Wonder Woman. And I'm like, wow, this feels totally different than the first one. Or like, wait, for real?
Yeah.
Wishes, huh? That's what we're doing the entire time? Wishes? Oh, did that guy consent? Why did they have a body there? I don't think that, that's
definitely
an R.
There is something to like about careful what you wish for. You might just get it. Like that concept of a wish.
They start calling it a monkey paw halfway through because they're like, too many words and trying to explain gem and maybe trickster god, not Loki, different universe, but another one, and monkey paw. Can we all agree monkey paw? We all know monkey paw. It's a monkey paw, right?
It's a monkey
not
paw.
A real monkey paw, metaphorical monkey paw.
It's Pandora's box. It's a million things. It's that concept, and there's something to that, and I appreciate the lessons in that, but
well, no, Pandora's boxes just don't. Well, I guess it is.
It is. Don't get into this thing.
They cracked it open.
Right. It's like.
But then again, no, because it wasn't like that dude gets coffee at the beginning, and if it had just stopped there, it'd be fine, right? That dude would just like vomit up his coffee later in the day.
Yeah, no, you're right. But that there's you can have some fun moral quandaries with that concept. It's just it works better in kids' cartoons. It works better than in like Disney's Aladdin than it does in this thing where we're supposed to sort of also go, oh, we're in DC and we're one notable thing though, this movie isn't DC famous for fake cities, right? Like Gotham and all that.
Yep.
This one didn't do that at all. It was like, hey,
just in DC and Egypt.
Yeah.
Although also it's like there's a lot. There are some politics to this movie, specifically because Gal Gadot is as Israeli women are. You go to the IDF, they're military.
Yeah.
And so there is an element there that like, okay, so Max Lord, who's from a South American country, but not Chile, where the Americans led a coup in the 80s around this time. And he goes to the Middle East, but it's not really the Middle East, it's Egypt. And he wishes for something that would almost certainly be a Palestinian Israeli thing about like, give me back my land. But it's definitely not the Israeli Palestinian thing. And but then they also just work in like the Troubles in the UK, and they're just like, screw you, you Irish bastard! Like, I hate you, English son of a bee. And they, it's a weird movie. And then fake Reagan. I loved like, I'm not Reagan. I'm not Reagan. I'm just a guy who's doing a bad Reagan impression. I'm fake Reagan.
Yeah. They never called him fake Reagan, or they never referred to him as Reagan ever.
No, they did. They walked in. That you might have missed it, but he said if you were watching it at home, he goes, "Mr. President, fake Reagan," and he's like, "Yes, that's my name."
Yeah, he wasn't the best Reagan imposter or impressionist I've ever seen.
Well, he's not even supposed to be Reagan. He's just like a weird, like they left Reagan in the microwave too long, and he just like came out and started arguing with Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's weird. And Claire Gack wondering how the heck we've gotten to this part. It's set in 1984, hence the 84 part. It was all
Oh, by the way, spoilers. I just spoiled half the movie. But to be honest, it doesn't matter.
No,
this is an unspoilable movie.
No.
If you're going, the things you're going to like are the character moments, and if you look at it as more of like a weird contemplation of Diana Prince's character.
Yeah.
Like, I think that there is some very interesting stuff because she does reprehensible things in the movie.
Yeah.
Like her main arc in the film is like, can I stop doing awful truly morally reprehensible things when you actually break down what her role is.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you think about that of like, okay, well, if she's a god, which she is essentially, and she has the same kind of like apply some of those like Anne Rice, like, oh, vampires are the loneliest creatures because everybody, even the moral ones, like everyone they ever know is just going to live and die. And they live in this awful hellscape. And that is Wonder Woman. And she's heartbroken from the one time she fell in love. Like, is she willing to justify such inhumanity, including rape, to keep herself in a cocoon?
Yeah.
Like that's an interesting idea. Now, it ain't exactly for the kids, nor is it necessarily a movie that's going to inspire young girls around the world to buy the a new toy with the armor they show for 5 seconds. But it was interesting to me on Christmas night.
Yeah, that's when we watched it as well. Well, all right then. We've broken it down as best we can, and we hope everyone enjoyed Wonder Woman 1984. All right, Justin, it's a new year coming up. Next time we talk to you here, it'll be a whole new year. Is there anything between now and 2021 you'd like us to know or watch or listen to before that comes?
Sure. So politics. Well, number one, yeah. If you didn't listen to my new show from Dog and Pony Show Audio feature story, then go check that out. That came out last Wednesday. It is a new concept where I take a long form feature article, a magazine style article, work with the author and make it into a audiobook plus style presentation, including some of the original audio that was recorded when the reporter was out there doing it. The initial episode is a biography, or sorry, a bio on Jordan Peterson, the controversial clinical psychologist and political lightning rod. Go ahead and check that out, either in its own feed, feature story, which also features an interview with the author, who is my co-creator on the entire series. And then this Friday on New Year's Day, we have the end of our Campaign Undertaker series. We've done one for every candidate that has exited the race from 2019 all throughout this year. And
Wow.
And now we only have one more campaign to take. That's going to be the entire episode. Just the Campaign Undertaker, my final eulogy for Trump 2020. That's this Friday on the Politics podcast.
Wow. Sounds like a not miss. So check that out. Justin Robert Young. He is Justin R. Young on Twitter. Justin, have a fantastic week. We'll see you later. Happy New Year. Bye.
See you, Jerry. The jury will now retire for the year.
Ah, shit. Brian, you got me again.
The jury will now retire.
You always remember. I always forget. What is that about? Why do I do it? All right. That's the show. Thank you all for being here, for listening, for hanging out. It's good times. We're gonna jump into the following the new year with gusto. But before we do that, we have one more episode tomorrow, and then Thursday in the morning, normal TMS time, we're having a play date, and Brian and I are going to play Among Us for the first time.
No, not on Thursday. On Friday.
Friday is what I meant to say.
New Year's
Friday
Day,
this
yes.
week. New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve. Exactly.
Please allow me to interrupt.
Yeah, Friday for sure. Friday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, we're going to play Among Us. We've never played it. We're going to play it.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out some listeners have emailed us, because we do want audio for this. So we're going to figure out a way to do, I think maybe the Discord, the Frog Pants, like joining the Frog Pants Discord, and we'll pull you into audio there, maybe?
Yep. Yeah, no problem. We can totally do that.
Okay.
Because do you want to, I forget how it works. Do you want to have people in audio for sure? Or do you want to?
Yeah, there's even, like, there's a, if you get the Steam version, which I think we both bought.
Yeah.
There's a way to do proximity chat where you can only hear the people who are directly around you.
Oh, like Phasmagoria or whatever it's called, Phasmophobia. That game.
That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool. We could try that. I like that idea. Proximity of audio listening.
Yeah. So if you want to, the person who, I think they sent us a link, or maybe I gave you a link. I can't remember, but look around for the plugin if you're up for that sort of thing. If you're up for customizing it on your day off.
It says as long as people play correctly and are quiet during the round, audio is easier.
Okay, well then we'll do that. That'll probably be easier.
All right, that's what they say in the chat. I don't know.
People need to go to Steam and buy Among Us,
which is like on sale for.
I gotta install it.
It's like $3 right now. It's cheap. Hold on.
I'm either going to install it on my PC here, or I'm going to use one of the PCs that I've been cleaning.
Or you know what you could do, Brian? You can install. You can buy it on your PC, but still sit where you're sitting and just stream it to. Do Steam Play or whatever it is. You can play any game you have on your PC on your Mac. You just play it over your network, so it just plays it.
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
You should.
That sounds easy.
Yeah, you should.
Can I do that? I can really do that. That's awesome.
So you run Steam on both machines, and what you'll see once you run it, or you don't have to run it. You just have it open over there, and then on your Mac, you open up Steam, and it'll say when you click on that icon or for that game, it'll say Stream, and you'll hit it, and it'll just run like normal. And it will be running in both places, but you're getting like a real time. Stadia style stream over here. You should do that.
Okay. Oh, I like that a lot. Actually, Claire is saying it's free on your phone. You can cross-play on PC, Switch, and mobile. Really?
That's true.
For sure?
Yeah, that's true. Also true.
Nice belt right there, by the way. Then maybe I'll pick it up on Switch because I have my big Switch screen right there.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Even though I've already bought it on Steam, I'll buy it on Switch.
Yeah, either way. Steam version right now.
I like that better than the tablet.
Sure. Steam version right now is $3.99, so it's 20% off. Still on sale for the holiday sale. So if you guys want to grab it there, whoever, if you want to play with this is how you got to get it. So get it somewhere, and we'll play. Wait, Steam version, Switch version,
Steam version.
All those versions are cross. So the Switch version can play with the Steam people. Is that what you said?
That's what Claire is saying. Yeah, PC,
I know the
Switch,
phone
and mobile.
can. I know the phone can, but I wasn't sure about the Switch. Okay, if that's true.
All room codes work on either platform, Claire says. And we have lots of confirmation.
But that audio.
My username must be Vanessa.
that proximity chat thing only works on PC though. So if we're gonna have people on multiple account types, we'll have to come up with something else.
I thought we would just use Discord and people could mute themselves when the rounds are going on.
Yeah, that's true.
Because isn't that the deal? I swear to God, I don't know how the game is played. I watched a minute of a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
And I'm so confused by what the purpose and what we're supposed to do.
Yeah,
so,
I have no idea.
Maybe we should learn a little bit about it before, so we don't spend the first part of Friday learning how to play the game. I don't know. People give us recommendations if you're an About Us player or Among Us player.
About Us.
First, correct me on the name.
And then refer to him as Vanessa. Okay?
Exactly. And then call me Vanessa.
I could talk to Jesse. He and I talk sometimes. I could ask Jesse Cox. Maybe he could tell me. He plays a lot. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Yes. We're going to play Friday is the point, and we're going to look dumb while we do it. So be here and be a part of it. All right. That's it. Frogpants.com/TMS is our website. We'll be back tomorrow with more. If you haven't yet decided to support us on Patreon for the month of December, there's still time. Patreon.com/TMS. Get the cool rewards. Get them easy and get them cheap. That's patreon.com/TMS. Brian, why don't you play a song to get us out of here, please?
I will do that. Jason Mensch wrote in and said, hey, Scotch and Bourbon. He actually sent these two exactly the same requests one day apart. And so I don't know if he composed it on his computer and then copied and pasted. I don't know how he did it, but it's really cool. Anyway, Jason Mensch wrote in and said, hey, Scotch and Bourbon, it's that time of year where I throw out a birthday request. I'm turning 25 and can't wait to start forgetting about 2020. In honor of the worst year ever, I'd like to request Ring of Fire by Home Free. Daryl introduced this band to me via request of his own, and I went down a rabbit hole. Let's collectively throw 2020 into a ring of fire and start this decade over. Sure. Scott, I got an easy one for you. Can I get a Brian saying, yeah? Love the show, though.
Yeah, I totally can. It's right here.
Yeah.
Here you go. Look how quick that was. It's right there. It's right next to my Gabe Simpson no, and then you're the yes. So we have
no. Yeah.
See? So I can play them together.
That's how easy it is right there. This is indeed Home Free playing in their cover of Ring of Fire, originally done by Anita Carter, by the way. I mean, Johnny Cash, of course, has the definitive version, but Anita Carter released her version. His daughter-in-law released her version before or stepdaughter, released her version before his. So technically Johnny Cash covered it as well. Sure. Ring of Fire by Home Free featuring Avi Kaplan. This features the guy from oh my God, Pentatonics. I almost said Technotronic. No. Supersonic. No. But Pentatonics, the guy with a really, really deep voice, that's part of that band. From their album Crazy Life from 2014, here is Ring of Fire.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
What the F are you doing in here?
That's a great question. What the F are you doing in here?
What the F? What the F?
I think that was Bill Murray. Yeah, Bill Murray from...
oh, really?
The Life Aquatic thing that we did.
Oh, that's funny. Is that where the Ned, change your name to Ned thing came from?
I think so. Let's see.
Which is funny because he deals with Ned Ryerson and
that's right. I sure as heck fire remember you, yeah.
What the F are you doing in here?
Yep, definitely that time too. Wow. Would have been 2017.
All right, let's see here. Buying
something like that.
Among Us for the Switch.